All right, y'all, welcome to HEBRAIC Faith TV. We back for another reaction video. Listen, I have no clue what we're about to witness. I have no clue what we're about to view. We need y'all to listen, just pay attention, sit back, relax. We're going to react to something we have never seen. Let's get it.
So if I was like hiring and I saw pronouns, here's what I'm going to assume. I'm going to assume you're obviously very liberal. So I'm going to assume you're one of those people that is super far left. Hey, I'm going to assume you're not a very hard worker. You are either a female or you're a probably not straight guy. So everything in the office is going to have to cater to you, your feelings, your needs, and your emotions. So everyone around you is not going to be able to be themselves and walk on eggshells. Why would anyone want someone like you unless everyone's like you in a work environment? You're going to be the laziest person. You're going to be the most entitled, complain the most, and I think you're going to be the first to sue. So shocker that pronouns weren't helping you guys. Sorry, is there anything I missed there? Is there anything I missed?
That right there.
Oh. Wow, she came for him. She really came for him.
Just because I may present more femme doesn't mean that I'm any less they, them.
You know what, that thing where you're eating a meal, but you're not really eating a meal, you're just kind of picking at food on the counter. My family and I were doing that one night, and I just kind of looked at them and said, hey guys, I'm non-binary. I don't have a gender.
In my opinion, gender is a universe. It is a broad spectrum of planets and stars and sky that truly cannot be contained into a binary.
My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and that's a non-negotiable. And they were all kind of like, okay.
I think one of the main reasons pronouns are so important is because other than our name, it's one of the main ways that people identify and call us.
My pronouns are personally very important to me. Growing up, enculturated into kind of a system that really subscribes to toxic masculinity, I was always uncomfortable with being called dude, what's up, man. I was so bad at dapping people up, like, how like guys like do that whole like that thing. I was so bad at that, and it just like, I felt very alienated every time someone would do that to me.
So when someone identifies with a pronoun, they're essentially taking their little piece of that broad universe and identifying with that. And so in using their correct pronouns, we're validating that yes, you are right in your identity and you are important and we're respecting you.
And now we got to come for them.
I tell you now, being in, a management position, I don't like to, we can't really single out the pronoun people, but I think life was fine before we had to worry about pronouns, because I had a situation with one of my people that we worked with, everybody knew her as Robbie. She came in one day and said, well, going forward, I want to be called them, they, and us. And changed her name from Robbie to something else, and then got upset with us because for the 5 years we knew her, we called her Robbie. And then all of a sudden now you come in and tell us there's something different, and you don't give us a grace period. You just, you got to call me because this is how I feel. Y'all got to deal with that. Like she said, they're entitled. They want everything catered to them. Everything has to be set for their needs instead of, hey, I'm the one who's disrupting the whole ecosystem in here because I've changed how I want to be addressed. So I need to give them some grace, give them some space, some time to adjust to the new me.
Yo, I was just keeping it a buck, man. The junk is ridiculous, man. Listen, I work in social service field. I work with her, and I'm gonna call her what she is, even though she's supposed to transition. She was called herself non-binary. But she's a little girl, right? So I asked her, what does that look like? What does non-binary look like? Like, what does it look like to be between male and the female? Like, how do you live? Like, because you're gonna have to pick a side. It's like you can't just well, I'm not going to be a woman, then I'm not going to be what the heck does that look like? Because I said I'm not going to front. When I look at you, you look like a daughter. You could
that part right there.
Now all of a sudden you get mad at your mom who gave birth to a daughter, but now she doesn't respect your life and nothing, she doesn't respect you because when she looks at you, she's trying to get used to you calling yourself they and we. Like, that goes against logic.
Man.
It's logic.
Come on, nature.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You calling yourself something that's plural. We, they, us.
Come on.
Stop it. Like, yo, listen. I think it was Jeremiah 16 and 12, where it talks about how, well, the previous verse, it talks about how the fathers disobeyed the Most High. But it said that the next generation, the younger generations were worse because we went after our own imaginations. This is literally this. Like, the junk is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yes, sir. Listen, let me read this to you. Romans 1st chapter 21.
Ooh, I was gonna go there too. Get it.
Because that when they knew Elohim, they glorified him not as Elohim, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations.
Say it again.
They became vain in their imaginations.
Come on.
And their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
The junk don't even sound smart.
Man, come on, man.
Not only that,
I called you a fool.
It's not only they don't sound smart, but the first thing they'll say is, well, because most of them are Christian, and the first thing they'll say, well, God don't make no mistakes, but he put me in the wrong body.
Right.
Huh?
The clay is still in the potter.
Right. But wait a minute. If he don't make mistakes, how he put you in the wrong body?
Right.
Come on, man.
It make sense.
It don't make sense. It's crazy because when we started down this slope, I asked somebody who was I don't know, I can't remember exactly. I'm just gonna say the lesbian or gay. I asked somebody from the beginning of the alphabet when the alphabet was just 2 letters before it got all this other stuff. I asked him because all of this is based on how you feel. My question to you is when we start going down this slippery slope, who is the one that says they're going too far? No, it's like, because a pedophile can easily come out and say, I feel like I'm attracted to kids. Who are you to judge their quote unquote truth? And no, that's not the same thing. Man. Why isn't it?
Man.
What about a grown man who wants to identify as a 6-year-old little girl?
Yes, I've heard that one.
Why, hello. Welcome to Stephanie's Playtime.
In my mind, I'm a girl. I was never allowed to be a little girl. So I'm filling that tank of little girl experiences.
Restaurants, I just need to use the bathroom. You've probably noticed there's a lot of people worried about their safety because I identify as a 6-year-old. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter.
Yes.
We're not doing that in the land. None of that's going to go on in the land.
You got this woman who wants to be considered a dog and wants you to rub her and pet her as she walks around on all 4s because that's what she wants. That's how she identifies.
Imagine if the easiest way to delight your wife was you just throw a ball across the room. Relationships wouldn't fail anymore if that's all you had to do.
Here's Tony.
My name is Tony, and I'm a human pup.
I'm Andrew. I'm Tony's husband.
So where do you draw the line to say too much is too much?
I got some Israelite brothers who were Griley or
let me read it. Let me stay in Romans on that note. Romans 1:23. It said, and change the glory of the incorruptible Elohim into image made like to corruptible man, into birds and 4-footed beasts and creeping things. Wherefore Elohim gave them up to uncleanness through their lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
Absolutely.
So what are we going to do? I told my son, I said, when you see a dude that's straight out there like he just gone, flamed up like he just gone, I said, let me show you the scripture regarding that. Because the scripture said he gave him over.
Yes, sir.
Work that thing which was unseemly.
Unseemly. And the junk is unseemly.
You know what I'm saying? When you see this is where we at right now. This Romans' first chapter with all these different alphabets and all these different pronouns and all these different people that want to identify. Listen, you let a ruach trick you.
Right.
You let a ruach trick you. You let an evil ruach trick you and it make you thinking how you gonna feel like you a dog? How you gonna feel like you a cat and you a human?
Okay, hi guys. So my name's Dasha. I'm a furry, and I'm gonna be teaching you guys some ways that my friends and I meow to one another to communicate when words just seem a little too difficult. So here we go. Okay, so first off, we have the normal meow that we just use mostly to get each other's attention. Meow. Okay, then we have the dissatisfied meow. Then the angry meow, but we only use this one on rare occasions because overall we're a very happy kitten family. Then the happy or content meow. Meow. Okay, then one of the most important ones for our kitten family is the I want to go potty meow. It took me a really long time to master this meow because it needs to be really specific in order for my kittens to understand. Meow, meow, meow. Okay, this is the most important meow for me, and it's the I need help wiping meow. Okay, and last but definitely not least is our in heat meow, and we use this when we need a little bit more special kitten attention, if you know what I mean. Meow. Meow.
I got a quick thing real quick for you. Like you say, when it's too far, well, they say, a child is taught to be racist, right? Because when they come out, they know little kids play together. All they do is play. Boys and girls, they play. So if that's the case, a child has to be taught to be racist. How do they learn their gender roles unless they're taught?
Right.
It becomes confusing when you have other people on the outside saying, well, you don't have to follow that gender role. You can be whatever you want to be.
Right. And then you got these parents that say, I support you. Listen, the words say some children are born estranged. So it's listen, some kids have that spirit or that ruach that is on them. But
say that part again. That part right there.
Or that ruach that's on them. But the Bible says that the rod of correction will drive it far from them. So whether you have to chastise them, however that level of punishment looks, listen, you tell them what the book say and you stay consistent with the book. So we got to raise them and train them in the way that he or she should go. There's no, I'm trying to understand and relate to your feelings. No, listen, I'm friendly with my kids, but I'm not their friend.
I'm not
that part.
Friend.
I'm not their friend.
I had to reiterate that.
But I'm not their friend.
Come on. I see what you don't see.
Right.
I hear what you don't hear. I said, listen, you're not sensitive. You're not where I'm at to be sensitive to the Ruach to understand certain things. So it's my job to make you aware of these things. I said, don't be entertaining foolishness. We got our kids. See, in some homes, the parent that made it so loose, you don't know what your kid is doing. You don't know what they're viewing and what you open them up to.
Because they're trying to be friends.
Come on, pay attention to these cartoons.
Yeah.
Listen, my kid better not come to my friend was in my room. Who?
Yeah. It was crazy because to be transparent, my son, I went to a spell of that when he was younger. How there was something that was trying to break him in the spirit, and it was telling him, "Don't tell your parents. Don't tell your parents." So he would come and he would tell us every time that this voice or this entity would come and speak to him, and so it allowed us to get down to prayer. We told mom, and now my son doesn't struggle with that anymore. So I was glad that he trusted us enough that we reacted accordingly, and he was able to be truthful with us, and he's delivered from that. But yeah, man, I mean, these kids be dealing with real stuff. So we gotta handle it according to the Ruach, according to the book.
And the land back on that, I remember we lived at 1230 13th Street. Me, Linda, and we had two kids at the time, Shondoa and Zay. I was sitting in the living room playing the game, playing college football. I remember it, late night, house lights out, TV on. And Shondoa comes out. This like 1:30 in the morning. Shondoa comes out. And you know where the main living room was, and that little bitty den right there to the stairs. The little room right by the kitchen.
You talking about the big house that y'all had on 12 on
mom in the house.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking
1230 13th Street.
Got you. Yeah, I know exactly.
And that little den right there in the stairs, go upstairs.
Yeah.
I was sitting I'm in the living room, sitting right there on the floor on the couch, Shonda walks in the living room, and she stops right to be able to look right there because I couldn't see.
Right.
Now my daughter, she's like 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She stands at stops like she got scared as heck.
Mm.
I'm like, what? She pointed to the stairs. I said, what? And she pointed again. I jumped up out in the mud and that, we ain't Christianity back then. I started rebuking that spirit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I went nuts. I'm like, what? You in the house? He in the other room while I'm in here.
Right.
I didn't see him, but my kid saw him.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
My daughter saw him.
Yeah.
So when I did that for about 10, 15 minutes, she looked again. I said it there. She turned around, went, got back in the bed. Like nothing ever happened.
All praises.
That dude had to go.
Yeah.
All praises.
So these kids be seeing things.
Mm-hmm. And feeling it.
And feeling it, man.
So it's possible to feel feminine as a boy or feel masculine as a girl.
This is Merrin. She fell in love with James.
I'm a masculine presenting woman.
And I am a feminine presenting straight man. I guess people perceive us as weird as a couple because we don't follow the regular status quo. And we don't look like how they want us to look.
The couple met through TikTok, and despite not being each other's usual type,
I was identifying as gay because it was easier than explaining all the ins and outs of who I was.
I've only dated girls in the past.
The most frequent question we get is, who is the woman? Or like, who is the girl?
You have to correct that. You can't validate that and say that's cool. I'm sorry. Because
I just go by the script.
Yeah, they dig the bones up. They're gonna see that those are male bones and female bones. They're not gonna see, they're not gonna see the feelings.
And these spirits are lying to our kids in school. They're lying. You better pay attention to these classroom teachers. I'm thankful that my kids know the difference. And they know the Most High. And they know when someone's trying to slip something on. I'm like, no, because I told my son, he's like, no, Dad, that what they said, that wasn't right. That wasn't right. I said, oh, you picked up on that, huh? He's like, yeah, Dad, I picked up on that. I said, that's what I'm talking about. Pay attention. Pay attention. Words have power, son.
Yes,
Life
sir.
and death is in the power of the tongue, and those that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
The fruit.
All praises.
All praises.